My sister Judy, 26 female, and I, 30 female, barely get along. It's civil most days, but there's an unmistakable undercurrent of tension between us. Last year, she relocated out of the country for work and we never really talked until this Christmas when she came over for a visit. I still live in the family home with my parents. This holiday season is also the first one that my boyfriend Xavier, 31 male, and I have spent with each other's families. We've been dating for about 4 months. It's also the first time he's met my sister, although I've spoken about our difficult relationship and shown him pictures. My sister barely glanced at or acknowledged my last boyfriend, who I was dating for a while, very seriously. That's a pretty hard thing to do since he lived with us in the family home. But with Xavier, she's been pleasant, serving him food, choosing to sit next to him when there was a seat made up for her next to me, and generally being nice. Honestly, I chalk that up to her growing as a person or preferring to sit with Xavier over me because of our difficult history, and didn't think much of it. Yesterday we had a family gathering. Judy wore short shorts, which she usually does at home. At one point we were talking about strawberry legs, and she lifted her leg up to show everyone. Xavier and I received quite a view, and she laughed off my mom's alarmed chastising about her essentially flashing Xavier. I didn't think much of this either because Judy is relatively free with her body, at least compared to me, and often gets scolded by my grandmother and my mom for the clothes she chooses to wear. On the other hand, Xavier has asked me more questions about my sister than my brother. He remembered Judy's name but not my brother's. He showed me a picture of a celebrity he finds very attractive and she looks like my sister. When we played board games at the family gathering, he picked my sister to be his partner and no one else. Up until this morning, I was just happy that Xavier and my family are getting along and they seem to like each other. I think he might be it, but of course it's very early in our relationship to be making such grand proclamations. I'm really not sure if I'm overanalyzing the situation because of my own insecurities, and taking a long time to feel safe with new partners and to learn to trust them. I do have a history of childhood trauma, as do my siblings, but I seem to be the one most affected by it. Anyway, I can't breathe a word of this to anyone in my life considering how salacious it all is, and of course if it's all a nothing burger, I'd rather forget I ever had these thoughts. But the anxiety doesn't go away, and that's probably why I'm writing this out here to hear others' thoughts. I figure there's not enough substantial evidence either way, and my relationship with Xavier is mostly good, so there's nothing much to do at this point except keep observing. I'd have my guard up. Your boyfriend hasn't crossed a line, but he has shown interest a bit. Your sister has also not shown interest but is testing the waters based on the fact that she didn't give a F about your last boyfriend. I have a sister who went after every boyfriend I had. After we broke up, she would try to sleep with them. A few did sleep with her, but most didn't. She, for some reason, believes it would make me jealous, but I just called her pathetic each time. It truly is disgusting when a sibling or blood-related member crosses that line. I would talk to your boyfriend and establish some boundaries. He hasn't done anything wrong, but he does seem to have some interest. Talk calmly about the situation and ask for his point of view. This could help calm you down and you can discuss boundaries, etc. Him picking your sister was weird and out of line in my opinion, but ask. Explain how this looks and ask why he did it and what he would feel if the situation was reversed. It seems to you and all your family she is flirting and he is falling for it. Your sister is a flirt and extremely disrespectful. She is going after your boyfriend and flirting with him. This is extremely pathetic in my opinion. See if they exchanged phone numbers, that would give me my answer, and if they did, I would block her, and delete her number from his phone, and block her on all of his social media. Sounds like they are crushing on each other and I wouldn't trust either one of them, but that's the way I am. If you don't address this in the moment, this in my opinion looks like a recipe for disaster. I would at least try to casually suss out if anybody else had similar suspicions to me. And I would also confide in a friend, because they likely have a better understanding and knowledge of all the players here. But also so that friend can substantiate that this was a concern now, and not something that you unfoundedly come up with in the future. And discuss it via text or voice note, to note the time and everything so you have evidence. Ask friend to screenshot. Then if you feel that over the next few months, this isn't something you have to worry about, great. But if there is anything fishy going on, it'll definitely come to light relatively easily considering your sister doesn't live in the country. Don't act like these things don't happen. They do. Crazy and highly inappropriate. I honestly can't imagine. People are so I swear. I have a married sister, and I just can't even imagine those lines ever being crossed or confused. He picked her to be his partner. Red flag. You've been dating only a couple months. You also don't get along with her. Do you trust her? Observe what? Until he bangs your sister and you just sit there and take it? Your mom already saw what's happening and tried to nip it. But it's your relationship and you need to say something. They are flirting and hitting on each other. Your boyfriend is infatuated with your sister. If he tries to stay in contact with her, then you definitely need to move on. Your sister is purposely being affectionate to your boyfriend as if she is competing with you. Make him cut contact in the phone with her. She will probably try to send him nudes since she's so loose. She literally flashed everyone. Sexual harassment. Talk to her and say it was wrong or inappropriate of her to do that. He already admitted to being attracted, saying the person he is attracted to looks like her, to her, so it might be over already. Just be careful. Your spidey senses are tingling, so if your instincts are usually right, I'd be worried. I think you should keep observing and keep them apart. Hopefully, she is leaving soon. How long is this family thing? Isn't it time for her to leave the country again? I can see both behavior being a bit odd, but I can also see reasonable explanations for both. Info: how much does Xavier know about you and your sister's relationship? Your sister did nothing wrong. Your boyfriend may have developed a bit of something indeed, but it can also be because your sister seems to be easy to approach, and as he was the outsider. As your sister is not around much, it will be easy to see if he ever mentions her again or if he keeps in touch with her. In which case, you can just break up. Update. Thank you everyone for your comments and messages. I read them all. I went to see my boyfriend yesterday and he was being very loving. He didn't bring up my sister once and has been more expressive of his affection for me via text as well. Ultimately, I don't think that he would ever cross the line even if he thinks my sister is attractive. This is my boyfriend's first serious relationship. He had stage 4 cancer in his 20s and didn't date. And so naturally there's been a learning curve for him on how to be with someone. He mentioned that he didn't realize how much time commitment a relationship is, but that seeing me is the best part of his week. Judy is leaving next week, and I probably won't see her again until Christmas at the end of the year. Her behavior and treatment of me, outside of this, has been pretty distressing, so I'm looking forward to her departure. My boyfriend doesn't use social media very much, but I did check to see that he wasn't connected to my sister. He wasn't. I'm satisfied that he's not communicating with her or doing anything untoward behind my back. Thank you to everyone again for your comments.